Good morning. Good morning. This is Regina Quince from the Center for Spiritual Living, Princeton, and I want to thank everyone who is looking at this video, this live stream. Um, I'm going to give a talk on the power in pause or a pause. Well, we've been doing a lot of pausing in the last 12 hours. We paused because our musician isn't feeling well. So we do not have any music. We're pausing because we couldn't get the internet to work here. We're pausing. We're pausing because we couldn't live stream on the CSL Space Princeton Facebook account. So we're pausing. So with that, we want to take a deep breath, hold it, and align with that which we know is in us, as us, and of us. So we're going to proceed with our service. And Jeff, were you going to do a welcome? Did you sign up to do a welcome? Yes, you did.
I did.
Yes, you did. So let's on later day. Okay. All right. Then let's pause again. And since it's 10:46, we're going to ask Deja to come, and Deja's going to give us our practitioner of the day um, meditation.
Thoughts for the day, yes.
Thoughts for the day. Okay. And I'm going to put it over here because of the light above.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, we have almost a fully packed room. How awesome is this? We thank you for your patience. We thank you for your resilience with all of the changes that's taking place. And let's take a collective breath. Let's breathe in and exhale. And know that we are grounded in this moment of peace, of joy, and of community. I'm going to do a reading, and I'm going to speak this word in the first person for all those who are listening. It's a beautiful treatment by Frederick Bales. So get comfortable in your chair, allow your chair to support you, release all of the to-do lists and all of those things that come across your mind, those pestering thoughts, and let's just get immersed in this moment. This day, I move in a bright new world, which is the reflection of my innermost thoughts and beliefs. Consciousness is the only reality. Experiences are only the shadow thrown by this reality on the screen of my mind. This day, I consciously and deliberately align myself with the supreme consciousness. It always moves in right action. Therefore, my affairs this day partake of that all-inclusive principle of right action. I am surrounded by a circle of protection. The knower within me guides me in all decisions. The law draws to me all those person, places, and things that tend towards my fullest benefit, and I in turn become a blessing to all whom I meet this day. I reject any belief in or fear of wrong action. My body is a temple in which God dwells. All of his methods and activities are those of right action. I welcome every one of these activities and I throw myself wide open to them. Nothing destructive can enter or operate within my body this day, for I am deliberately choosing the most constructive modes of thought. My spirit sings this day, for I am filled with the consciousness of life, a life that is more than physical. I am tuned into every happy, healthy, successful person this day. Their thoughts travel over invisible paths to me, and mine to them. I draw strength from them, and they from me. I deliberately disconnect my mental pathways from those who are morbid or ugly, for I am alive only to truth, goodness, joy, abundance, and beauty. Nothing negative can find a foothold in me this day. No doubt or fear can attach itself to me. No accidents or mistakes can occur because I walk in a path of right action, both when I am thinking of it and when I am not. I release myself and all my affairs this day to the perfect working of that perfect law, which turns these thoughts into things. This word that I speak not from myself. It is the word of the great God in me, speaking itself into my experience. This word has all power to fulfill in my life and affairs this day. It is the most powerful word in the universe. I release it to the creative law of mind, fully confident that it is even now being fulfilled. And so it is. And now I will do a treatment for each one listening. There is one life, one love, one abounding joy, one principle of perfect health and perfect well-being. There is one infinite love. It is of the infinite, it is God. It is God taking the many forms that it does. The all good of God reigns supreme in, through, as, and around each one. Each one is one with God and can never be separated from God, the infinite spirit. And because this is so, each one is turned on and tuned into this moment, this life, right here, right now. Each one is open and receptive to the gifts of this center through the spoken word, through the laws, and through the love. And because this is so, each one is fully engaged in evolving his or her or their consciousness into allowing their lives to be elevated, to be upgraded. Each one is fully engaged in this life and living right here and right now. This means that each one is making the best decisions that will elevate their lives. Each one is open and receptive to this teaching to allow them to have phenomenal coping skills in this wonderful, interesting world that we are living in. And so each one moves forward right now, today, this week, into a greater expression of each one's lives. Each one is fully empowered to make the changes, to think the thoughts, to plan, and to be their best selves, to live a life that each one loves completely. This is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I am so grateful that is coming out of me and into God's loving law. And so I release it right here, right now. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Regina? Oh, Reverend Rich usually does a wonderful introduction to the next speaker. And so, Reverend Rich, we love you. We send you healing vibrations. And I would like to introduce our beloved Regina Quince, who has been in this church for several decades. She has been on the board. She's on the board now. She's our treasurer, and she is a super fantastic practitioner. So we welcome the topic because we know we always can improve our lives and the world by taking this divine pause. Here is Regina Quince for a gift to you today. Welcome, Regina.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's been an interesting morning, an interesting 12 hours. So I know I'm out of. All right. I think I'm still connected. Yes. Okay. It's time to pause. It is really time to pause. It is, pardon? Well, if you'd like to sing a song before my lesson, fine.
Or after.
Okay, after.
YouTube.
After. All right. Before me is a clear road, and I proceed. The forward look is the Godward look. My heaven will never be unless I make it out of materials of my own thinking. Today, I set my sights on it, and that's a capital I, who fashioned me in its image and likeness. I stand at the door of the abundant life, and I knock. All that I seek opens to me, beckons me to life's fullness. I enter. Let's pause. And it's funny, I'm looking at, we have this light situation, and in this Facebook stream, I'm kind of looking out at the edge. I'm kind of at the edge looking this way. So you'll just have to pause and pardon me. But I want to spend time talking to you about the power pause and why we pause and how we can make the pause a spiritual practice. The power pause is the consciousness to stop what we are doing, rest in blessed assurance, and rejuvenate oneself to a greater you. It can be a spiritual practice that encourages forgiveness, embraces loving yourself, and co-creating a new you. Now, the dictionary defines pause as a temporary stop or rest, especially in speech or action. Now, what you do is you stop talking, you stop acting, or doing something for a short time before you continue. But in the consciousness, spiritual level, it can be a moment of contemplation or reflection, time to connect with one. For me, I use it as a ritual. And sometimes you may see me do like this. And what I'm doing is I'm choosing an alignment to the present moment. I'm choosing it. I'm going to stop arguing, fussing, being agitated, being anxious, and just allow my system to relax in the presence, knowing that there's something greater than me that's in me, as me, and of me. Now, pauses can also be triggered, or a lot of times, they're triggered by subconscious events or reactions to things. Like we've had tragedies this past week. And in your experience of these tragedies, there was a trigger in how you reacted. Heard people say, oh my God, which is really good when you say, oh my God, because you're looking for something greater than yourself to engage in this experience or engage in you. That was more of a subconscious reaction. I know I had it. On the spiritual level, on the consciousness level, it's a choice. We choose to pause. Now, let me see. Those subconscious reactions is where we take our hands off the wheel. We just take our hands off the wheel. We let it go. There's a period after that, though, that we do pause and we are mindful of how we feel about it. We allow our emotions to take over and we settle with it. And it's good that we do that. Now, as a spiritual practice, because that is what we teach here in the Center for Spiritual Living, Princeton, as a part of the Science of Mind, we look for the power in the pausing. We look for what it is that's going to help us, change us, move us, align us, and center us, and ground us. And like I said, we've had a lot of that today in the last 12 hours. Pausing and the power of pausing allows us to reawaken our attention and align ourselves with that which is greater than we are. our breath, living, that we're alive, living, our feelings, the present moment, what we are grateful for, and our heartbeat. When we look at pausing on a spiritual level, a conscious level, we are going into that presence. We're allowing the presence of Spirit Divine to enhance us, to develop us, to take that image that we have of us and allow that to be co-created in our experience. Now, I pause in the morning. I wake up. I make my coffee. I love my coffee. I find some inspirational uh, uh, informational readings, usually the size of my magazine. I journal. I've showed you already those large index cards where I start off with this is day, blah, 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 of prosperity, no, gratitude, prosperity, great health, great wealth, happiness, joy, and love. That's my first two lines of my cards. Then I'm finishing a book. So I have the number of days I've been finishing this book. Then I have intention. What is my intention for the day? And most of the time, it's a quality to be happy, to be forgiving, to be joyful, to be prosperous, to um, observe the beauty all around me. And I follow that with the I am statement. Usually, I am Regina, and I expect the good today. I know the good is here now. On the back of the card, I write about 10 thank yous. You know, thank you for the great cup of coffee. Thank you for my children, my grandchildren, my daughter in laws, my nephews, my nieces. I write all this down. Not by names, but their category, the category they reside in. I write about my home, that it's warm, that I have money to pay my real estate taxes, um, things like that. The appliances. I take time to look at what is mine right here and right now. I add my car, its features, its performance, where it has taken me, you know, that I arrived back safely. I do all of this, the little things and the bigger things. I had a great last weekend. This is what I do in my pause. And if you remember, we had, where are they? I don't know if I brought it. Wait a minute. I introduced you to lavender, all these affirmations. You've been doing them 21 days. The 21 days are up. Did you do them? I've been listening to that YouTube presentation for 21 days. I finished my 21 days. And it feels so good. So that's the consciousness that you can have in the pause. The pause can be, if you're willing, to be a spiritual practice. Psalm 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. Be still. So, the pausing or this ritual helps me to stop. It helps me to let the past go. Forgiving myself for the mistakes I have made in my life. It reminds me of my oneness with God, a blessed assurance that God is in me, as me, and of me, and the ability to co-create the me I'm striving to be. It's a moment of deep gratitude for what I have and who I'm becoming. Now, I will say that when I go to sleep, start going to sleep at night, that's when the subconscious guilt and things like that I'm ashamed of, wish I hadn't done, wish I hadn't said, that's when it creeps up. It, it's when you're falling asleep and your subconscious mind is getting ready to take over. And the one thing that I found to do when that starts, because you can't sleep, it's like, oh, I'm such a horrible, you know, what you can do is start going through your thank yous. What am I thankful for today? What am I thankful for today? And list that, you know, that you have oatmeal soap. I love oatmeal soap. The different thing. It doesn't have to be a gigantic, I won the lottery, which is really good. But it can be, I had an event last Saturday or the last weekend, and I had bought a suit online, and for some reason, which I know God was saying, girl, you better check this out. Because God speaks to me that way. I put on the jacket, and there was the tag, the theft tag on it. I was like, oh my God, if I hadn't looked, if I wasn't guided to put that on, I would have gone to this event thinking I'm going to wear this suit, which we had to wear, it had to be that color, and I would have been crushed. But I am favored. We are favored. God favors us. It's our pot of gold. We have a pot of gold awaiting our acceptance. And so I was able to run to Macy's, have to take that tag off, and I did some other shopping. Um, um, and something else that hadn't, I wanted to do, but I hadn't been God forward about. I had the suit pressed. I went to the cleaner, said, "Can you press the jacket, and the skirt, and it was something that I'm like, oh, you could iron it. Like, no, you can't. You gotta just spend the money and do it. And I did it. And I felt so good. I felt so good. That's that's the favor that having a spiritual ritual like pausing by allowing yourself to be absorbed with the God that's in you, as you, and of you. So, forgiveness. That's one part. Taking time to forgive. Um, Mayo Clinic says that it can lead you down a path of physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Mayo Clinic says that. I've always had a thing about forgiveness. What am I forgiving? Who am I forgiving? For some reason I had a thing about it. Um, I don't have a thing about it anymore. I have found many reasons to forgive people, but most of all, to forgive myself. So I don't have those in the midnight hour turning, tossing and turning. Why did I do that? Forgive it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Ernest Holmes says, as the inner light dawns, it delivers the outer light from bondage. As the inner light dawns, it delivers the outer light from bondage. We all have made mistakes in our lives, things we regret. Pausing to take time to forgive yourself and forgive others renews your spirit and delivers the outer light from bondage. So that's what you want to do. Mae McCarthy, who wrote The Path to Wealth, and I have her book, Mae McCarthy, and she is a Center for Spiritual Living practitioner. I think she's from Seattle. She's had a couple of books. She writes to God in the morning. She calls God her chief spiritual officer because she knows that God is helping her in her business, helping her to attract clients and things like that. But this is what she writes in the morning. CSO, if there is anyone from my past or present that I need to forgive, whether I remember them or not, I now do so. I bless them, I love them, and I release them into your care, knowing that you will work with them in whatever way is best. And if there is anyone from my past or present who needs to forgive me, including myself, they now do so. And we are all free to experience a higher and greater good in our lives. That's her morning prayer. And that's what she teaches us in this book, My Path to Wealth, The Path to Wealth. Pause is the time to love yourself for who you are as a creation of God. Mark Travers, he's a PhD who writes on Psychology Today. He says understanding self-love involves accepting oneself in all of one's flaws and glory and maintaining a positive self-image. As students of the science of mind, we understand that we are in the image and likeness of God. What's not to love, right? What's not to love? It's a part of that pot of gold. We know that we are embodied with the attributes of God. Ernest Holmes states in Ideas for Living, and I have this book, this wonderful old book that he wrote. We are perfectly right in assuming that God is love. And he says, love is the greatest of all healing agencies. A vast majority of our physical disorders can, to some degree, be traced back to an inward sense of insecurity. Love creates confidence. Confidence gives self-assurance based on a power greater than we are. And self-assurance is necessary to any successful life. But love is also forgiveness. Love overlooks the little differences that we have and finds a point of reconciliation with others. Love creates tolerance and human understanding, without which we become really divided against ourselves, and without which we almost unconsciously become filled with criticism, condemnation, and false judgment. Pause gives you the opportunity to image a greater you. Last month, I shared with you the Lavender 2025 affirmations, and the one that makes me smile, that resonates with me, is this is the beginning of my best year yet. Absorb that. This is the beginning of my best year yet. Let it be. Accept it. Follow your intuition. Allow yourself to be guided. Go to try on a jacket. You know, get the tag off. You know, I am becoming the best version of myself. Deal with changes. Deal with oops, during Sunday service, right? You do that. That's the best version of yourself. And the last one I like is I am grateful for a new beginning and a new me. This is what Spirit gives you. This is the pot of gold. This is the song that Scott's going to sing for us. Go ahead, sing it for us, Scott.
From here?
Right here. Can you get up? Can you go up?
Ooh. Thank you, Regina. That was excellent. I think this song dovetails perfectly into what you're talking about
Okay.
because this song is about pause and observation. In it is as we go through life. I see leaves of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, a dark, blessed day, a bright, blessed day, and a dark, blessed night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, is also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, Deja's going to come up and she's going to talk to us and let us um, show our gratitude.
Hello, everyone. It's time to work with the law of circulation. We do not give because God needs the gift, but because the giving increases, broadens, and deepens the life of the giver. Nor shall we give from the standpoint of duty. The universe refuses to bargain with us. It already has given us everything it has. But also, it has provided that the gift of life can be received in its fullness only as it flows through us to the fullness of others. And so I will pass this beautiful basket and I'll be right back in a moment. So I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Thank you all so much. For those who are home and would like to contribute to the center, you can go to www.cslprinceton.org, and there's a donate button on the website where you can contribute by PayPal. We're so grateful for the gifts that we have that allow us to continue to serve humanity with love, with intention, and to spread the teachings of our beloved founder, Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. In joy and gratitude, these gifts are accepted, knowing that the Center for Spiritual Living Princeton is guided, guarded, protected, and completely financially supported in all its activities. Now I welcome Regina Quince back to treat us out into the new week. Thank you.
Thank you, Deja. There's only one. This creative force, this power, this energy, however we can conceive of it, that is the beauty, that is the harmony, that is the abundance, that is the light, that is the order, that is the joy, that chose us, each one, to be here, to be alive, to live, and to embody its qualities. Each one is chosen to be here fully, to climb every mountain and cross every stream. Each one is here. And to the extent that we can accept this good and to be this good and to march towards this enlightenment of good, each one will experience the magical, mystical unfoldment of their desires. Each one will allow the good to flow through their lives. Each one will be tolerant, non-judgmental, non-critical. Each one will sleep well. Each one will be God forward. Each one will pause and allow the good to flow through them and be expressed through their experience. And in those moments where you can't sleep because your mind is going and you're beating yourself up and you're not forgiving yourself and you're not allowing the past to go, each one takes the time to be thankful, to be grateful, to recall all the good that has flowed through their lives, from the tiniest things to the biggest things. Each one exclaims that I am that I am. Each one accepts it, allows it to be, and this word is law. It is so, and say with me, and so it is. Namaste. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, everyone. Thank you. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can turn this off. End live video. I'm always putting money in PayPal for these legitimate. It was on time. It's 11:32. Thank you.